Welcome to AI Decoded. I'm Emma Clark, and I'm thrilled to be your guide on this journey into one of the most transformative and fascinating technologies of our time, artificial intelligence. AI isn't just shaping industries and businesses, it's influencing the way we live, work, and interact with the world around us.
And I'm Michael Reynolds. Whether you're already an AI enthusiast, a tech professional looking to stay ahead of the curve, or just someone curious about the buzz surrounding AI, this podcast is for you. We're here to break down the complexities, demystify the jargon, and show you how AI is changing the world, one innovation at a time.
Our goal is simple: to make AI accessible and relatable for everyone. You don't need a PhD in computer science to understand this podcast. We'll take you through the basics, walk you through real-world applications, and explore what AI means for your career, your business, and your daily life.
What if your daily commute felt like a first-class experience, where you could read, work, or even nap while your car drives itself? What if traffic jams became a thing of the past? Cities had more parks instead of parking lots, and car accidents were nearly eliminated? Welcome to the world of autonomous vehicles, a revolution that's already underway, promising to transform not just how we move, but how we live.
In this episode of AI Decoded, we're pulling back the curtain on self-driving technology, how it works, who's leading the race, and what it means for your future. We'll explore Tesla's full self-driving, Waymo's robotaxi dominance, and how China's Baidu Apollo is rapidly reshaping mobility. But it's not all smooth roads ahead. We'll also break down the biggest challenges, from AI decision-making dilemmas to regulatory battles that could make or break the industry.
And we're taking this discussion beyond the hype. We'll talk about real-world applications like Singapore's self-driving shuttles, the rise of autonomous delivery networks, and the impact on jobs, urban design, and even your wallet. Plus, we'll explore the multiple benefits of going driverless, like reducing traffic congestion, cutting carbon emissions, improving transportation accessibility, and even reclaiming valuable time lost in commutes.
If you've ever wondered how autonomous vehicles fit into the bigger picture of smart cities, sustainability, and personal convenience, this is the episode for you.
Globally, the average commuter spends around 54 hours a year stuck in traffic. That's more than 2 full days of frustration, stress, and wasted time. Autonomous vehicles could cut that time by half or more, freeing up hours for what really matters. Family dinners, personal hobbies, or even just relaxing. It's not just about saving time. It's about reclaiming our lives.
For the millions of people who can't drive due to age, disability, or other reasons, autonomous vehicles represent a life-changing innovation. They're the key to independence, whether it's an elderly person visiting family or someone with mobility challenges commuting to work. This technology is a gateway to freedom and equality.
And it's not just commuters who benefit. Imagine cities designed with fewer parking lots and more green spaces, thanks to autonomous vehicles reducing the need for individual car ownership. Cleaner air, quieter streets, and a lifestyle centered on walkability rather than traffic jams. These aren't just dreams. They're achievable goals. By minimizing traffic congestion, we're also reducing emissions and taking a giant step toward combating climate change.
Did you know that by 2030, autonomous vehicles are projected to represent 20% of all vehicles globally? That's not just a trend. It's a revolution in how we think about transportation, impacting everything from personal mobility to public policy. This seismic shift will touch every aspect of society, from how we commute to how cities evolve. It's not just the future, it's the now.
It is indeed. And to see how far we've come, let's rewind to 1984. That was the year Carnegie Mellon's NavLab pioneered the concept of self-driving cars. Back then, it was more of a moonshot idea, clunky, slow, and highly experimental. Fast forward to today, and we've got Tesla, Waymo, and a host of others turning that dream into a scalable reality. But how did we get from there to here?
At the core of every autonomous vehicle are AI systems that mimic human decision-making. Computer vision, sensor fusion, and deep learning are the foundation. But what sets companies apart is how they apply these technologies. Let's break it down in detail. Let's start with Tesla. What's their secret sauce?
Tesla's technology stack revolves around vision-based systems. They've chosen to forgo LiDAR, light detection and ranging, entirely, instead relying on a suite of 8 cameras positioned around the vehicle. These cameras feed into a custom-designed neural network that processes visual data in real time. This system is managed by Tesla's proprietary full self-driving FSD software, which uses computer vision to interpret the world, identifying lanes, obstacles, and even predicting the actions of other road users.
How does Tesla process all that data?
The key lies in their AI training infrastructure, particularly their Dojo supercomputer. Dojo is designed to process massive amounts of video data collected from Tesla's fleet of over 3 million vehicles. This real-world data allows Tesla to simulate and refine driving scenarios, creating a feedback loop that continuously improves the system's accuracy. Their approach emphasizes scalability, leveraging the data from everyday Tesla drivers to enhance the FSD system.
And who's behind this innovation?
Tesla's AI efforts are spearheaded by Andrei Karpathy, their former director of AI, alongside a team of machine learning experts and engineers. While Karpathy has since left the company, his influence shaped much of Tesla's AI-first approach. The team remains focused on pushing the boundaries of neural networks and deep learning.
But why did Tesla go all in on cameras instead of using LiDAR like others?
Tesla's rationale is that cameras are cheaper and more scalable, aligning with their goal to make FSD accessible across a broad market. Elon Musk famously called LiDAR a crutch, arguing that a human-like approach to vision is the key to generalizable autonomy.
What about Waymo? They've clearly taken a different path.
Absolutely. Waymo's technology stack prioritizes safety and precision. Their vehicles use a combination of LiDAR, radar, and high-definition cameras. The LiDAR sensors create detailed 3D maps of the environment, providing centimeter-level accuracy. This is paired with radar sensors that perform well in poor weather conditions like fog or rain.
And how does Waymo use HD mapping?
Waymo's system relies heavily on pre-mapped areas. Before deploying their vehicles, Waymo creates detailed maps of each operational zone, including road geometry, lane markings, and even the locations of stop signs. These maps are integrated with their AI system, ChauffeurNet, which makes real-time driving decisions.
Who's driving Waymo's tech innovations?
Waymo's team includes some of the brightest minds in robotics and AI, with their chief scientist, Drago Anguilov, leading research on machine learning and autonomous navigation. The company also has deep ties to academia and regularly publishes papers on advancements in AI and perception technologies.
Why has Waymo chosen this more conservative approach?
Waymo's focus is on safety and reliability. Their use of LiDAR and HD mapping ensures precision in complex urban environments, making them ideal for city driving and geofenced areas. However, this approach does limit scalability compared to Tesla's model.
How do these two approaches compare?
Tesla's vision-based system excels in adaptability and scalability, leveraging real-world data to constantly improve. But it faces challenges in low-visibility conditions, where LiDAR would typically perform better. Waymo's system, on the other hand, is built for precision and safety, excelling in controlled environments but requiring significant effort to expand to new areas.
Could these approaches evolve?
Certainly, Tesla has hinted at potentially incorporating radar or LiDAR in the future to address current limitations, while Waymo could explore integrating real-time learning from fleet data to improve scalability. This evolution might lead to hybrid systems that combine the strengths of both companies.
Let's dig deeper into the heavyweights in autonomous vehicles, Tesla, Waymo, and Cruise. Michael, these companies are driving innovation, but they each take such a different approach. Let's start with Waymo. What makes them stand out?
Waymo is often regarded as the gold standard in autonomous vehicle technology. They've raised over $3 billion in funding, and their valuation sits at an impressive $30 billion. Their Waymo One service has provided tens of thousands of fully autonomous rides in Phoenix, San Francisco, Austin, and Los Angeles, setting a benchmark for what Level 4 autonomy can achieve. They've also pioneered LiDAR technology, which has applications beyond transportation, such as robotics and city infrastructure mapping.
And Waymo's ambitions extend beyond the United States, don't they?
Absolutely. Waymo isn't just focusing on urban areas. They're also experimenting with scaling into suburban and rural regions to make their technology more accessible. Internationally, they're exploring Europe's urban mobility markets, where they've partnered with local transit systems for trials. For example, in Paris, Waymo is testing autonomous shuttles designed to complement public transportation. Their holistic approach positions them as more than just a tech company. They're architects of future mobility systems.
Now Tesla. They're often in the headlines for their ambitious claims and rapid progress. How are they navigating international markets?
Tesla has made significant strides in China, where their Shanghai Gigafactory supports large-scale production. They're also exploring emerging markets like India and Southeast Asia, where urban congestion presents a unique opportunity for autonomous EVs. However, in highly regulated regions like Europe, Tesla faces stricter compliance hurdles. Despite these challenges, their focus on affordability and scalability gives them a competitive edge in penetrating diverse markets.
Cruise focused heavily on urban mobility before its challenges. What were their standout contributions?
Cruise demonstrated the potential for autonomous systems in dense urban areas. Backed by GM with a $10 billion investment, they optimized their fleet for last-mile delivery, partnering with Walmart and other retailers to streamline logistics. Their integration of GM's Ultium EV platform not only showcased sustainability but also set a standard for how electric and autonomous systems could coexist. While their operations faced setbacks, their innovations in urban-centric design and logistics leave a lasting impact.
So, Waymo focuses on precision and safety, Tesla on scalability and adaptability, and Cruise tackled urban logistics. Are these companies competing or are they complementing each other?
It's more like paving different lanes on the same highway. Waymo excels in geo-fenced environments, Tesla pushes adaptability for the masses, and Cruise showcased the possibilities of autonomous logistics. Their innovations collectively push the boundaries of what's possible.
Michael, let's talk about the technology behind the scenes. What's the next big thing for these companies?
One game changer is vehicle-to-everything, or V2X, communication. This technology allows vehicles to interact with infrastructure, other vehicles, and even pedestrian smartphones, creating a synchronized traffic ecosystem. Imagine smart intersections that adjust traffic lights dynamically to optimize flow or prioritize emergency vehicles. Audi's pilot in Las Vegas is a great example. Connected cars receive real-time traffic light data to minimize stops, reducing fuel consumption and emissions.
And AI continues to evolve, right?
Absolutely. Predictive behavior modeling is taking AI to the next level by allowing vehicles to anticipate the actions of pedestrians or cyclists. This makes navigation in complex environments safer. Additionally, edge computing, processing data directly within the vehicle rather than relying on cloud systems, reduces latency, enabling split-second decisions. Tesla's AI chips and Dojo supercomputer set benchmarks in this area.
And the economic ripple effects?
The potential economic impact is massive. Analysts predict autonomous vehicles could generate $7 trillion in global economic activity by 2050. This includes job creation in AI, software engineering, and vehicle maintenance, as well as disruptions in traditional industries like trucking and taxi services. Urban planning is also evolving, with less demand for parking and more space for green infrastructure.
Leadership plays such a big role in shaping these companies. What can you tell us about their different approaches?
Elon Musk's vision for Tesla emphasizes rapid innovation and scalability, often setting ambitious timelines that generate excitement but also invite scrutiny. Waymo's Takedra Mawakana takes a methodical approach, focusing on safety and building trust through partnerships with governments and transit systems. Meanwhile, Kyle Vogt of Cruise embodied a bold, experimental spirit that drove rapid, urban-focused innovation.
How are these companies building trust and addressing skepticism?
Public trust is a hurdle. Waymo hosts public trials where people can experience driverless rides firsthand, and Tesla leverages its large online following to demystify its FSD system through live demos. Transparency in safety metrics and education campaigns will be critical as adoption scales. Collaboration among competitors, such as creating shared safety standards or open data platforms, could also help foster trust.
Michael, autonomous vehicles are already reshaping urban transportation in developed markets. But emerging markets have their own unique opportunities and challenges. Let's talk about the hurdles first. What makes deploying autonomous vehicles so tricky in these regions?
Emerging markets face several barriers. Poor road infrastructure is a major challenge. Many roads are unpaved or lack clear signage, which can confuse even the most advanced AI systems. Limited internet connectivity, especially in rural areas, makes it difficult for autonomous vehicles to leverage V2X communication. Additionally, inconsistent regulations across regions create uncertainty, slowing the entry of major players.
It sounds like a complex environment to operate in. Are there any standout success stories despite these challenges?
Definitely. Baidu's Apollo Go is a prime example. Operating in cities like Beijing, Wuhan, and Guangzhou, it has completed over 2 million rides, making it one of the largest autonomous ride-hailing services in the world. What's remarkable is how Baidu's partnership with the Chinese government allowed them to integrate their technology with smart city infrastructure, enabling seamless navigation in dense urban areas.
What about rural areas? Could autonomous vehicles make a difference there?
Absolutely. Rural regions often lack reliable public transportation, and autonomous shuttles or small EVs could bridge that gap. For example, pilot programs in India are exploring autonomous rickshaws to connect villages with nearby towns. In agriculture, autonomous tractors and drones are already being tested in countries like Brazil, optimizing farming practices and reducing resource waste. These applications are transformative for areas where traditional transportation and farming solutions are limited.
Making this technology affordable must be a priority in these regions. How are companies tackling that challenge?
Affordability is key to scaling autonomous solutions. Startups are innovating with low-cost alternatives to LiDAR, focusing on camera-based systems that provide adequate navigation at a fraction of the cost. Companies like Mobileye are also producing semi-autonomous platforms that integrate seamlessly into existing vehicles, allowing automakers in emerging markets to offer affordable options. Open-source platforms like Baidu's Apollo are empowering local developers to build customized solutions tailored to their region's needs.
It's exciting to think how these innovations could leapfrog traditional systems. Are there smaller-scale mobility solutions in play too?
Yes, micromobility is gaining traction. Autonomous two-wheelers, such as scooters and bikes, are being piloted in crowded cities like Jakarta and Manila to provide last-mile connectivity. These lightweight solutions are perfect for navigating narrow streets and dense traffic.
What role do collaborations play in overcoming these challenges?
Collaborations are essential. Public-private partnerships, PPPs, have been instrumental in enabling deployments. For instance, governments in Southeast Asia are subsidizing 5G networks to support V2X communication, while companies like Tesla and Waymo provide the necessary technology. In Kenya, PPPs are funding autonomous EV pilot programs that aim to improve rural connectivity. International organizations like the World Bank are also stepping in to finance infrastructure upgrades that enable autonomous fleets.
And international partnerships. Are we seeing those take off?
Absolutely. Baidu is actively exploring collaborations to expand Apollo Go into regions like Southeast Asia and the Middle East. These partnerships not only bring advanced technology, but also help build local expertise, creating jobs and boosting the economy.
Let's talk about the broader impact. How could autonomous vehicles transform the economy, societal, and the environment?
The economic potential is enormous. Autonomous fleets could cut logistics costs by up to 20%, improving supply chains in regions with fragmented infrastructure. Take UPS, for example. By introducing autonomous delivery trucks, they're aiming to save millions annually in fuel and labor costs. Nuro is making waves in last-mile delivery. Their compact, autonomous pods are designed to handle grocery or takeout orders, operating at a fraction of the cost of traditional delivery services. Walmart's partnership with Nuro in Texas has already shown promising results, with faster delivery times and lower operational costs. Studies estimate that the logistics industry could see cost reductions of up to 15%, translating to $85 billion in annual savings globally.
Let's not forget urban benefits. Did you know that 90% of traffic accidents are caused by human error? That's roughly 1.3 million fatalities a year globally. Autonomous vehicles could drastically reduce this number. Waymo's self-driving cars, for instance, have already clocked over 20 million miles with an impressive safety record, proving the potential to save thousands of lives annually.
And fewer accidents mean enormous savings. Globally, traffic-related accidents cost over $1.8 trillion annually, from medical bills to lost productivity. Reducing accidents even by 50% could inject billions back into the economy while also reducing strain on healthcare systems.
Michael, we've talked a lot about the technical and societal aspects of autonomous vehicles, but let's focus on something that affects us all: our environment. What's the green potential of autonomous vehicles?
Traffic congestion alone costs the U.S. economy $87 billion annually, with over 3 billion gallons of fuel wasted due to idling. Autonomous vehicles can address this by optimizing traffic flow, reducing idling time, and improving fuel efficiency. Studies suggest that fully autonomous systems could cut urban emissions by up to 60% through smoother acceleration and braking patterns. The environmental potential is enormous. Autonomous vehicles can reduce fuel consumption by up to 20% through optimized driving patterns and coordinated traffic flows. That's a massive reduction in emissions. In cities like Oslo, where pilot programs for autonomous shuttles are underway, they're seeing tangible environmental benefits and reduced congestion. Replacing diesel-powered public transit with autonomous EVs could drastically reduce emissions in cities like Lagos or New Delhi, where air pollution is a serious concern.
And when you pair autonomous systems with electric vehicles, the impact must be even greater.
Absolutely. Autonomous electric vehicles, EVs, amplify these benefits. For instance, a shared autonomous EV fleet could reduce CO2 emissions by an estimated 87% per mile compared to traditional internal combustion engine vehicles. Imagine a fleet of autonomous EVs replacing diesel-powered public buses in cities like New Delhi, which battles hazardous air quality. The World Health Organization estimates that poor air quality contributes to 7 million deaths annually. Reducing emissions could save lives on a global scale. Shared autonomous vehicles, SAVs, are central to smart city frameworks. By reducing private car ownership, SAVs can decrease the total number of vehicles on the road by up to 90%, according to a study from the National Renewable Energy Laboratory. This means less congestion, reduced emissions, and repurposing urban land for green spaces instead of parking lots. For example, cities like Barcelona and Oslo have repurposed former parking zones into parks and pedestrian walkways, demonstrating the potential for environmental and quality of life improvements.
That's incredible. And fewer parking lots could mean more parks and green spaces in cities.
Exactly. Parking accounts for up to 14% of urban land use in some cities. By integrating shared autonomous fleets into public transit systems, cities could reclaim this space for parks, urban forests, or even renewable energy installations like solar farms.
Speaking of smart cities, Singapore is often a pioneer when it comes to urban innovation. How have they incorporated autonomous vehicles into their public transit system?
Singapore's government launched its first trials of autonomous shuttles in 2019 in the Punggol and Tengah districts, designated as smart town areas. These shuttles operate on electric power and have already completed over 500,000 passenger trips. By addressing last-mile connectivity issues, they've increased public transit usage by 18%, reducing reliance on private vehicles.
What about the environmental impact of these shuttles?
The results are significant. Singapore's Land Transport Authority reports that these shuttles have reduced energy consumption by 30% compared to traditional buses operating on the same routes. They also eliminated 1,200 metric tons of CO2 emissions annually, equivalent to planting 50,000 trees. Singapore is a shining example of how integrating autonomous vehicles into public transit can deliver tangible environmental and societal benefits.
Are other cities taking similar steps to integrate autonomous vehicles into their sustainability efforts?
Yes, several cities are innovating in this space. Oslo has introduced autonomous electric buses that can reduce operating costs by up to 40% compared to diesel buses. Amsterdam is piloting autonomous boats, or rowboats, to navigate its canals for deliveries and passenger transport, reducing congestion and emissions on roads.
And agriculture could see benefits too, right?
Exactly. Autonomous tractors and drones can optimize resource use, reducing water and fertilizer waste while boosting yields. These innovations are particularly impactful in regions like sub-Saharan Africa, where efficient farming is crucial for food security.
Michael, let's get a little futuristic. How else could autonomous vehicles contribute to sustainability?
There are so many possibilities. Autonomous delivery networks using electric pods could replace 50% of urban freight transport, cutting emissions from diesel trucks. In agriculture, AI-driven tractors and drones could improve efficiency, reducing water and fertilizer usage by up to 40%. Another idea is pairing autonomous vehicles with AI-driven urban farming, delivering fresh produce directly to consumers, reducing food miles, and minimizing packaging waste.
What about urban planning? Could autonomous vehicles help mitigate urban heat islands?
Absolutely! By reducing the number of vehicles on the road and repurposing parking lots for green infrastructure, cities can lower surface temperatures by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius. This could also improve air quality and make cities more livable. Imagine autonomous vehicles navigating green corridors designed specifically for electric and low-impact transit.
Let's dive into one of the most complex and fascinating aspects of autonomous vehicles: safety, ethics, and the law. Michael, can you start by shedding light on the ethical dilemmas these systems face?
Certainly, Emma. The ethical challenges are as intricate as they are pressing. Take the trolley problem, for example. Imagine a self-driving car in a no-win situation. Does it swerve to avoid hitting 5 pedestrians but risk the life of its passenger, or protect the occupant at the expense of those on the street? Companies like Tesla, Waymo, and Cruise have to program their systems to make these decisions in real time. Tesla's approach leans heavily on AI that prioritizes minimizing overall harm, while Waymo emphasizes pedestrian safety above all else. Cruise had adopted a balanced framework, but these decisions are ultimately shaped by each company's interpretation of ethical priorities.
That's heavy. And it's not just a philosophical exercise, it's programming morality into machines. How do they even test these systems?
Great question. Testing involves running billions of simulated scenarios to evaluate how the AI behaves in edge cases, those rare, complex situations where ethical choices are critical. For instance, Waymo runs simulations where pedestrians suddenly cross at unusual angles, while Tesla collects real-world data from its fleet to refine its AI. The challenge is that no amount of testing can cover every possible scenario, which is why global consensus on ethical standards is urgently needed.
And then there's the legal side. The patchwork of laws doesn't make it any easier, does it?
Not at all. In the US, states like California are leading with strict regulations for testing and deploying autonomous vehicles. But other states lag far behind. In Europe, the EU has implemented frameworks emphasizing consumer safety and data protection, but enforcement varies across member states. Meanwhile, China is advancing rapidly with fewer regulatory barriers but at the cost of public scrutiny. This fragmented landscape makes it incredibly challenging for companies to operate internationally.
Let's talk about safety concerns. Everyone remembers the 2018 Uber accident, but Cruise's recent challenges have added fuel to the fire. What happened there?
In October 2023, a Cruise autonomous vehicle in San Francisco collided with a pedestrian after she was struck into its path by another car. Tragically, the vehicle dragged her several feet, leading to public outcry. The California DMV quickly suspended Cruise's testing permits, and General Motors eventually ceased funding Cruise's Robotaxi operations. This incident highlights the fragility of public trust in autonomous vehicles and the high stakes of deployment in real-world settings.
How has this affected the industry?
The fallout has been significant. Regulators are now calling for stricter oversight, and public trust in autonomous systems has taken a hit. However, competitors like Waymo and Tesla are doubling down on transparency and safety protocols to distance themselves from such incidents. For instance, Waymo has logged over 20 million simulated miles and publicizes its safety metrics, while Tesla continues to refine its full self-driving system through regular updates and user feedback.
Beyond safety, data privacy and cybersecurity are also pressing issues. What's being done to address them?
Autonomous vehicles collect vast amounts of data, everything from location history to driving behaviors. While companies like Tesla and Waymo claim to anonymize this data, breaches remain a real concern. Hackers have already demonstrated their ability to exploit vulnerabilities, potentially taking control of vehicles. Initiatives like the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, in Europe are pushing for stricter data privacy standards. And think tanks like the World Economic Forum are advocating for global cybersecurity frameworks. But the battle is far from over.
So, we're grappling with ethical dilemmas, fragmented laws, safety concerns, and now data vulnerabilities. It sounds like the industry is at a crossroads.
It is, but there's hope. Collaborative efforts like the Partnership on AI are fostering dialogue between governments, companies, and ethicists. Companies need to prioritize accountability by conducting third-party audits and improving AI governance. For instance, Tesla's frequent updates to its full self-driving system show how user feedback can refine safety. Similarly, Waymo's transparency in testing sets a benchmark for the industry.
Michael, what a journey this has been. Autonomous vehicles are clearly more than just a technological breakthrough. They represent a profound shift in how we live, work, and interact with our world. On one hand, the possibilities are exhilarating. Imagine cleaner cities, reduced congestion, safer roads, and more time to focus on what matters most. On the other hand, the challenges are real, from regulatory hurdles and ethical dilemmas to the need for public trust and infrastructure upgrades. There's a lot to navigate.
You're absolutely right, Emma. The excitement is undeniable. Autonomous vehicles have the potential to save over 1.3 million lives annually by reducing traffic-related accidents, 94% of which are caused by human error. They could also cut global CO2 emissions by up to 15%, according to the World Economic Forum, by optimizing traffic flow and reducing fuel waste. And let's not forget their ability to reshape urban landscapes. Studies estimate that autonomous systems could free up to 30% of urban land currently used for parking, making space for parks, housing, and green infrastructure.
That's an exciting vision. And it's not just the societal benefits, it's personal too. What would you do with all the time saved in an autonomous world? Commuters in the US alone spend an average of 54 hours a year stuck in traffic. Globally, that figure rises to a staggering 26 billion hours annually. Imagine reclaiming even a fraction of that time to pursue hobbies, connect with loved ones, or simply relax.
Exactly, Emma. That's the question I'd like to leave our listeners with. What would you do with all the time saved in an autonomous world? Would you use it to upskill in your career, travel to places you've always wanted to see, or spend quality time with family and friends? On a societal level, how could this saved time spark innovations or new ways of living? For example, some experts suggest that reclaimed time could boost productivity, contributing an estimated $1.2 trillion annually to the global economy by 2035.
It's such an inspiring thought, Michael. And it reminds us that the road to autonomy isn't just about vehicles. It's about people, creativity, and the future we want to build together.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an update. And if you found value in our discussion, share it with friends, colleagues, or anyone curious about the impact of AI. Spreading awareness is one of the most powerful ways to create a better understanding of this transformative technology.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep decoding AI. This is Emma Clark.
And Michael Reynolds, signing off from AI Decoded. See you next time.